and was admitted to the hospital on Thursday for pain. Good to hear. And two daycare workers seen in a toddler fight club video. Today, Dailey and Mickala Guliford have been charged with endangering the welfare of a child. You may have seen this video. Chris Hayes with affiliate KTVI is on the story with newly released police video now.
December 7th, 2016, 11:30 at night, St. Louis police brought in Tena Dailey in handcuffs. She's the woman you could see jumping up and down during the fights. She was subdued in her police interview.
He was crying, and we were trying to comfort him, and we was trying to cheer him on.
She said she never thought it was wrong until it was all over.
It's all fun and games, you know, and I'm sorry, like, for them, you know, to think that I would hurt a kid. I wouldn't hurt a kid. My kid was in there, too.
A week later, December 15th, 1:30 in the afternoon, police interviewed Mickala Guliford. She's the one you could see saying something to a crying child and then getting preschoolers ready for another fight.
I probably should get a lawyer.
Guliford called relatives to say she was not going to talk to police, then said simply this.
Because there was nothing dangerous with the kids. Like, it was all a safe stress relief. Like, you know, I feel like it would have been avoided if she was just closed the second.
She's referring to the fact that daycare's heater was broken and teachers had to use this alternate room without their usual supplies and activities. Some of the kids appear to recognize the fight club was wrong, like this child who tries breaking up a fight, and a 10-year-old in the next room who texted his mom this: "The daycare is making my brother's class fight and he's crying."
I am so very thankful that my 10-year-old realized that it was wrong.
Nicole Merciel has been fighting for criminal charges since that day in December 2016. Today, she got action.
It makes me happy. That's exactly what we were hoping. That's the reason why we brought this to the media. We were wanting them to take a second look at this because I don't feel like there was any punishment.
Thanks to Chris Hayes for that report. He's from affiliate KTVI. I do want to bring in an attorney to talk more about this. Former head prosecutor, criminal defense attorney, and host of Law and Crime Network, Bob Bianchi. Bob, good to see you. You've seen the video. What do you think when you hear the women being interrogated, saying that they didn't know that it was wrong? Are you buying their stories?
Listen, as a person who had to make the calls on endangerment cases and child abuse cases, those statements would infuriate me. It's bad enough that they did the things that were so emotionally and physically harmful that even a 4-year-old, 5-year-old child's trying to stop it. 10-year-olds are outside the door saying that, you know, they're fighting. Even children recognize it. But then to sit there and say it was for something like stress relief as opposed to doing jumping jacks or some other, you know, more accommodating thing, and physically abusing these kids and basically saying they didn't know it was wrong. Well, you know, I have a lot of discretion, Susan, as a prosecutor as to whether I want to go heavy on a case or I want to go low on a case and make a point for deterrence. But those statements would be pushing me into jail time.
Really? Well, Nicole Merciel, who is the mom of the 10-year-old and of a young boy in that class, says that her young child is scared now. He was going to a new daycare and said, "Will we have to fight, Mom?" And now she wants justice, and because of her voice being heard, it looks like she will get that. And that was my next question. How much time do you think these ladies, if any, will serve? Is it up to the prosecutor, as you said?
Yeah, Susan, that's a great question. And yes, it's up to the prosecutor. I mean, look, you want to have balance when you do these things. So you have two goals in mind as a prosecutor when I was making these calls: deterrence and punishment, as well as reasonable punishment as well, mercy and compassion. But the mercy and compassion, as you indicated before, is depreciated by the statements that they gave. Look, I wouldn't hit a fly with a sledgehammer here, but they would be definitely doing county jail time, maybe even a little state prison time, because we can't, as prosecutors, allow people, when parents put them into the care and custody of adults, they give up their most precious resource we have as people, our children. And we need to make a point that it's bad enough if you're negligent and reckless. This was an intentional, purposeful act. I'd be looking for jail time.
Is that what you look for in a typical child abuse case where you see something severe? Do they get jail time as well?
Well, you know, listen, there's a lot of facts. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that come into play. I used to actually feel bad for parents who may have been a little negligent. Maybe they were at a party, they weren't watching a kid. God, it happens all the time. They go into the pool, the kid drowns. I used to think there was punishment enough there, unless there was some really serious malfeasance. But in a case where you are responsible for the care and custody of other people's children, and you purposefully, intentionally, not negligent, not recklessly, have them engaging in an emotionally brutal thing that they'll carry with them for the rest of their life. I remember being a kid that age. It was scary going to school. Who would have thought that instead of having a gentle hand and we love you and everything's going to be okay.
Instead of nap time, they're putting on Hulk gloves. It's a very different scene than what we saw. Bob, thank you.
Got it, Susan.
So the holidays, they are coming. Less than